in today's video, we are going to put together a compilation of the best bits from the best players in the world on this channel. In this video, mine and Q's favorite parts from the what's in the bags of some of the greatest players ever to play this game is coming to you. In addition, there's a giveaway locked deep in the middle of this, so be sure to stick around for that. So settle in, get ready for it. It's a Tour Truck Tuesday summary of the greatest players in the world talking about their relationship with their golf equipment. We have golfing royalty from the UK, Tommy Fleetwood on the channel. A lot of clubs here, and I'll take this, I'm leaving this last head cover off. We're going to start with that one. Yeah. Nice memories.
It's a cool head cover, isn't it? It's
Very
one of the
cool
coolest things about playing in a Ryder Cup is you get the head covers and stuff, and you got
fantastic.
That fairway woods are an important part of my game. To be honest, I am not like one of the longest hitters, so when you get to par fives and things like that, the fairway woods play a big role in scoring for me and being comfortable with that. And then, you know, the way that you set up your bag, you want different things, don't you? I mean, you have your driver. Some people don't like a 3-wood because they don't hit it off the tee, so then they work their driver a lot, and then they'll have another wood lower down. I mean, for me, you know, I love being able to do different things with it. I have a mini driver, which has been awesome for me.
And this stays in, week out.
Mini driver stayed in, yeah. And then the 5-wood for me, I love 5-wood being as versatile as possible.
Okay.
I love being able to, you know, say you have a stock yardage with it, which might be 250, 255. I love being able to get like a bit more out of it and have a hotter flight, but equally, there'll be times I want to hit it 240, 235 and fade it, and I just like a 5-wood being very, very versatile.
And this is the first time I've seen one of these. This is the Taylormade Core 9-wood at 24.
I have it to 9-wood.
Never hit one. Need to do some stuff on it on the channel, for sure. Maybe you can give us a little run into that. Like 9-woods, what do you love about this? How far does it go? You got 250, 255 on the 5-wood. And then what's the 9 giving you?
Between 230 and 240. It's actually, so carry-wise, it's not that much different to my forehand, but it's a very, very different golf club. Okay,
in terms of peak height?
In just terms of peak height, the softness that I can create with it in terms of landing on the greens, and it's easy to hit than a long iron.
So you change something and something else you got to give up. That seems to be the theme through the bag. I noticed you got blue grips on everything for Everton, I assume?
Yeah, I mean...
I know. You're going there. I was just going to leave it. You can go there if you want. That could be a problem down the line.
Yeah, I mean, Reds...
This is the other side of town right here.
It's not... I mean, is it red? It's more like burgundy.
It could be West Ham, I guess. But I mean, a Liverpool fan is going to claim that as a Liverpool golf shaft.
I don't know about that, but it was one of the first things I noticed.
I could see you've not. That's why I'm surprised it's made it into this what's in the bag.
Because I was in the Ventus Blue as well, and it was perfect.
I know.
But yeah,
might have to have a chat with them about that.
I'm just going to call it. I'm going to call it burgundy or maroon, whatever that is.
West Ham
I can't call it red just yet.
Awesome. This section we're calling Know Your Onions.
Know Your Onions, okay.
So you're going to have to see if you can fit me in about, I don't have many shots in the tank any day, so see what we got.
This is a nice new experience for me as well, so I'm looking forward to it. Do us a favour?
Yeah.
Can you just hit a 7-iron before you hit that?
Yeah. Why is that?
Just to vary your shots up a little bit.
So you, again, would you do that in a fitting situation?
Yeah. So that's really good to see, because if you were to then hit like a 7-iron that you lost to the right, we could say, well, actually, you know, you put a couple of, you know, that might be a pattern at the moment. That was a great shot, so we know you're swinging it in a pretty decent spot.
That's the best one I've hit. That's money.
Now that was a golf shot. I might actually know some of my onions.
So I will allow that to be you knowing your onions. That's good. So how good is that to kick off this video with Tommy Fleetwood? When you're in Tommy's presence is how great he is at explaining what he likes. And he really has got a great way about him on camera, which isn't easy to do, believe it or not. A lot of people can struggle with that. The other thing is the education and the excitement he has about certain areas of the golf bag. If you look at those lofted fairway woods, look at the passion he talks about those clubs in. When he covers the 9-wood, literally reassuring how great that club is, why it's a cheat code to him. This video inspired me to go out and make a 7-wood video. It inspired me to put a 7-wood in the bag. We went on and we captured a fitting. He fit me. Now, it was what you guys don't see is we get given an allocated amount of time with these players. We managed to capture the watts in the bag, and then much to Q's disgust, it was early in the morning, and I'm like, listen, let's do this second video quickly. As you can see, I wasn't hitting it great, but the way Tommy was about that to settle me as a golfer, phenomenal. And if you listen to the piece he gives in the video about, listen, hit driver, then go to a different club, then hit driver, then go to a different club. Check your golf swing is where it needs to be, rather than just bum, bum, bum. That for me, golf IQ off the charts, and is something that we've just filmed a couple of videos here on the tee behind you. That is something that we've even put into the videos today that I'm trying to carry with me going forward. And I do it in fittings, but why have I not been doing it for myself? And I think the lesson is we're not all exempt to these little tricks and training things that these players give you. You got to do what they say in order to get the most out of your game. Joined today by Team Taylormade and Canada's most successful golfer. 13 wins, 3 Olympics, yes, and 2 majors.
That's right.
Brooke Henderson is with me on the channel. Today we're going to do a deep dive into your brand new bag.
Yes.
What's in the bag. What are you most excited about so far with the new clubs?
I'm really excited. Yeah, getting a first look this morning, the Qi35s. The driver was really nice there on the range hitting them. I'm just really excited for hopefully gaining a little bit more distance and, you know, just overall consistency.
So you've had a long time on tour now as a player, been very consistent, awesome golfer. How have you maintained the consistency in the bag? Has it changed much over the years with, I know there's a hybrid that we've got in here somewhere or in one of these bags, but how have you maintained what you use? Yeah,
for sure. I feel like we're always just trying to tweak it slightly. So, you know, at the end of the season, which would be right now, we're just trying to decide on, you know, parts of the game that could be a little bit better. So I recently switched irons and was able to get a little bit higher ball flight, so the ball was stopping a little bit quicker, which was great.
Guess your yardage. Brooke, I'm expecting you to absolutely kill me at this. We're at the Floridian, we're slightly into breeze. We do have the full swing on normalized, okay?
Perfect.
We'll start with 7 irons. The way we're gonna play this game, you've got to score golf, or you've got to give me the letters. So when you win the first round, that's how confident I am, you're gonna give me a G, and then hopefully I can defend it, but we'll see.
148. That's
148.
Hey.
No, we're not. How did I even lose that? I pulled 9 irons successfully. She gets 148 on the money to start this game. 37.
36.
Jesus, Brooke. 36. So you trust the device then? That's where we're going with that.
Yeah, I love this thing.
Okay, we love the device is where we're getting. With Brooke, when I was with her doing this and watching her hit balls, the centeredness of strike, every ball. The ball flight window, every ball. Then, in terms of getting the actual number, I mean, I put up an okay fight in this. Bear in mind, I don't know my numbers like a tour player. I'm trying to give you guys a realistic barometer of what a golfer can achieve on these things versus the best players in the world. I see there's a lot of trends going around like, can scratch players beat LPGA players? I'm telling you right now, categorically no, and you can put me on record for that. Brooke Henderson is an absolute baller. But if you can hit it like Brooke Henderson, you do you. You do you. Multi-major winner Collin Morikawa is joining me for a What's in the Bag. We've got his brand new 2025 golf clubs hanging out in front of us here. Have you toyed around with 7-woods?
I haven't. I don't think I hit it far enough. So for me, 5-wood is the same distance as some guys' 7-wood. So that's kind of the loft I need to use.
Got an LS with M on it. Talk to me about that. And then you've got a Qi35 core model.
So this LS I've actually been using for a little bit now, testing it out. For me, I've been in the LS model in the Qi10. I've always been in kind of the lower spinning heads, even though I don't spin it that high. I just like the versatility, able to move weights. The shape of the head, it's a little bit smaller than the core.
Yeah.
And for me, a little bit smaller is gonna look a lot better at address.
Is this a new addition in the golf ball, having the blue 5 on it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Little nod to the Dodgers.
I figured it was.
It's perfect.
And your short game this year in particular, I noticed from the data that I've been getting, I know we talked before about clipped, but it reveals short game is insane.
Yeah. I think I missed more greens, that might be why.
There was one round of the PGA Championship that was off the charts. I remember when I looked through your data, that was in there.
Yeah.
How have you gone to this huge jump? Because have you always played 50, 56, 60?
Pretty much. You know, yeah, when I came out, chipping and short game was not my strength. And, you know, you can get away with certain shots, but I think this year what was so good was I kind of threw everything out of the window about technique and trying to be perfect and saying, you know, watching all these videos and talking to coaches, where this year was like, I want to get the ball to the hole. I want to have it come out this height, and I'm going to, you know, just have a nice little tap in. And I focused so much about just my initial gut feeling of how the shot would come out, that's what I would trust. And if I never felt comfortable, then I'd step away and just use a different club. I putted a lot off fringes, which could be skewed a little bit towards the short game as well. But there's nothing wrong with putting off the fringes if you feel good. And that's like, I hit a lot of shots this year that I was confident with, and that's like, you have to.
You have a very, it'd be wrong of me not to mention it because you have a unique grip build-up.
Yeah.
And you're playing around with other grips. Tell us the story on that and how you found what is the right grip for you.
I mean, I've used the
what glove size are you first?
I'm a cadet medium large.
Okay.
So I don't really have that big of hands, but I've used these Z grips since I can remember.
But you have a weird tape configuration.
It's been a long time. I've got a different tape configuration on my irons. I had a few more wraps on my right hand just to make it feel a little bit more even. I'm just messing around with grips because I have the time right now, and I just want to see, you know, does that change a little bit of the feel? Our hands are the most important thing in golf, and if you know where your hands are going and you know where the club face is, you can make your swing go a certain direction, and that's all about shape and start lines and all that. So it's just more, can my hands have a little bit better feel to the face? You know, my irons have been a little bit better, not quite where I want them, so I'm just trying to take small little deep dives. If it doesn't work, then I'm not going to push it. You know, like I said, I've used these for forever now.
Two-time major champ Collin Morikawa, very technical, very on the ball, reminds me of Justin Rose, the way he carries himself as well in these photo shoot environments. Good information, to the point, direct, everything's got a reason. He will challenge you when it comes to fitting golf clubs if he doesn't believe what you're saying, but it's always done in a respectful way, in a controlled manner. And I think that when you watch this, if you can take away some of that self-discipline, that control that he has, you realize that you're with a ruthless competitor who knows how to get it done. Lie angles on the woods are important to him. I like the way he's been venturing down different shaft weights. We know from KBS, from chatting to their boys there, their engineers, that the LPGA players are going down this route and they're putting different weights and staggering them through the set to give you different ball flight windows. It's something I'm interested in as we move into 2026. It's definitely something I want to test. And Collin really pushes on that. I saw it at an Adidas photo shoot. He touched on it on this photo shoot. The other thing, which is massive for me, and it's massive for all of us watching this, if you can just take this from it, and Q and I have talked about it, you need, when it comes absolutely to your short game, to just get into the golf shot. Jason Day does it so well. Collin does it so well. Try and get external with your emotions, with your thinking. Try to see and visualize the shot, and then let your subconscious take control of hitting that golf shot. It's revealed itself in the data for him. I've found clip data that can back it up as well. If we can all get subconscious, you can become a better player. Joined on the channel today, Nelly Korda, absolute golfing royalty, playing your socks off at the moment, absolutely ripping it. I was looking at some of your stats. Greens in reg, I know from when we last met in Florida, you're now climbing on the LPGA, and I know that's an important number for you.
Yeah, because you know, if you hit greens, then you have more chances for birdie, and that at the end of the day, that helps everything.
Now, one thing that I did check out that I'm going to quote because I absolutely loved it, and I knew that it would mean a ton to you as well. And it said Nelly Korda finished the 2024 LPGA season shooting in the 60s in 63.2% of her rounds played. Then it goes on to say that is the highest single season percentage of rounds in the 60s all time by a player with 50 or more rounds that year.
Wow, I did not know that.
That is mega, right?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, that just means, you know, you're putting yourself into contention more. And at the end of the day, that's what we're practicing for.
the 5-iron in the 770,
Yep.
steel fiber.
Yes.
Then you switch models
I do.
into The CB.
Yeah.
So talk to me a bit about what's going on here.
So I just like the look of the CBs more from pitching wedge to my 6 iron. I need a little bit more height when it comes to my 5 iron because, you know, when we play major championship golf courses, the greens tend to get firmer, faster.
Yeah.
So you want something with a little bit more height. So the P770 just gives me that going into the green. So I just know that even if I hit a controlled shot, it's not going to shoot on the green.
Yeah.
When it comes to just, you know, in a sense, my scoring clubs, I just like the look of this a little bit more from the top. It's a little bit thinner visually, and I hit some really good controlled shots. For me, I never go after a shot 95%. I'm always in like that 90% area, even less. So hitting these controlled shots with these CBs just makes it a lot easier for me to execute what I'm just visually wanting.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, you know, hitting the shot. I hit down on my balls.
Yeah.
I think with my irons too, I like to see a lower ball flight with my driver as well. I mean, I have a 10.5 in driver.
Yeah.
But
that's probably why you like, we've got a core and a max head. It's probably why you like the CGs so far back.
Yes.
Because it helps you with the height. How high
Yes.
do you tee your 3-wood then?
very low.
Okay.
I do not, even with the driver, I tee it very low as well.
Okay.
It's just like, I'm kind of always in the in-between phase where I like the penetrating ball flight, but I know that I need to hit it high. So my caddy, Jason, he's always like, okay, you can hit the 3-wood, but it needs to be high and soft. I'm like, got it, bullet.
This has been a huge change for you.
Yeah.
And it's been a successful change.
I changed right after the Olympics. I changed just before the British Open. I find that this putter's a little bit more face balanced.
Yeah.
And I have more of a square back, square through stroke, so I don't have too much arc in my stroke. So the face balance putter just helps my stroke out a lot more because there is less arc. So I always feel like, you know, if you have to open up the face going back and you have a little bit more arc and you're really concentrating on your arc, then you have to do more work to square it up. I'm gonna put a club down though because I like. Should we get a shaft over? Can I get a shaft?
Yeah, I'll get one.
There?
So you do that as alignment, would you?
Yeah, I always have a stick down because I tend to aim right.
Yeah. And you only use one or do you use two?
No, one. I always just use one and thank you.
And you do it as a parallel left to the target, right?
Yes.
Even, and you tend to aim right because of your draw.
You're training your eyes. Your eyes are every day you wake up, they're just different. So putting a stick down is just gonna help train your eyes in the morning, and it also then you can see the consistency of it starting online.
Fantastic. Make sure you pay attention to that. Fantastic. When
you become narrow, then
yeah.
Your body obviously adapts, so then you kind of hit down on it.
Yeah.
So that's why I use that floaty
on
my arm actually, and it just helps me not like collapse my arm.
Armbands in the UK, floaties.
Yeah.
Just to translate anyone out there in the UK, that's an armband. You challenge me on all of the transatlantic things.
Listen, we're in America. Are we on American soil? Or?
Yeah, no, I'm with you. But some of the people following are from the United Kingdom. Nelly Korda, the GOAT of the girls' game right now. What a player. But also, before we get into it, what a person. Every time we get to film with Nelly, she's cool, calm, collected. She's really funny. She's got good banter on her. Great pro, good attitude. I think attitude for me, we can't obviously record every second of this, but the professionalism and how organized she is and how everything is in order, it all has to add up. When we have time with her, the clock runs perfectly. When you do the what's in the bag, she's thoughtful about how she delivers what she's talking about, but it allows us doing our job to get extra videos out of it. So then if you notice, we managed to get the warm-up video that we put out about Nelly. Everything, and even then you could see 3 tees. Remember that? She's talking about 3 tees that she has to use. The caddy knows what he's doing. She's very honest and trustworthy in her relationships. Her crew with the manager, Chris, great fella. I've known him for years. Everyone is trusted in the Nelly circle. I think that powerhouse of having a foundation of a crew that's a long-standing crew is why when it comes to the adversity of playing tour golf, especially in today's era with social media, I think she's so successful. Then just look at driver. And look at the shape, Look at how upright all of her clubs are. She doesn't want to lose it right. She even joked about how Tiger looked at her clubs and was like, whoa, blew her away. And she had this sort of thought that she would acknowledge that, but then she had the strength to park it there and recognize that is what I do to be the best version of me, to effectively be the equivalent in the ladies' game of the best player in the world. That's how I do it. So yes, I like what you're saying, I take it on board, but I'm doing it this way. And then she uses that cool, calm way she has about herself to position it to her advantage, to then perform under pressure. Maximum respect for Nelly as a player. Love doing any content with her because she honestly is, you leave the content feeling a better golfer without hitting a golf shot. It's someone who wants to help you improve and will explain it in such a simple way, which is a huge talent to be able to simplify this to then allow you to play. I think a great one to wrap up on Nelly is just when we went all through everything, she was like, the one thing that she has to have that's gospel is an alignment stick. You've seen it with me in the Tour Aim, and I love that product. But I think it was big that she was like, even just hitting shots on that camera, she's still working on stuff, she's still grinding. Tommy Fleetwood's the same, like off camera, Q and I would talk about it, like they're away in the corner hitting balls, they're grinding, they're flighting shots, they're testing different golf balls. Yes, this is a service day where they're at it for 2 days, but Tommy and Nelly, both of them were work, focus, work, be polite, be professional, be on time, work, focus, work, focus. It was a masterclass in how to carry yourself in life is what I would say, and that might be getting a bit deep, but I wish we could show you it all. But for me, behind the scenes, and that's why we're bringing you this video, it was a masterclass in how to carry yourself as an individual in a sports arena and maybe in the business world too. This Tour Truck Tuesday, we're bringing you golf's most recent entry into the Korea Grand Slam. A huge congratulations from everyone here at Trotty Golf. A massive moment, not only for you, but for the game. This is Rory McIlroy's What's in the Bag. What's in the Bag, joined by absolute legend of the game, Rory McIlroy. Hello, mate.
Johnny, how you doing?
Good, good. Taylormade photo shoot. There's a lot of testing going on, so we will say that before we get going.
Yep.
Now, I know we're testing here, but 2 5 woods.
Yes.
Do you know any story behind this?
Yeah,
Tipping looks similar.
Yeah, one has a little bit more loft than the other. They were coming, again, because of the CG, they've been coming out a little flatter.
Yeah.
So maybe having to go up a smidgen loft. And these are 2 bonded 5 woods as well. So these are, you know.
Which is going to be a tour part to start the year, and then we'll go from there. So slightly different face angles based on the loft, which again, you're particular on.
Yeah, I'm very particular on. I don't like adding a ton of loft to club heads because it makes it look left to me. So, but yeah, the 5, like when I first hit the 5 wood yesterday, it was coming out. It almost would be a good 4 wood if I ever needed a 4 wood.
So it's strong.
Yeah, it's strong. And not strong in loft, but just it just comes out. It just comes out really, really. You know, and I like to see my 5 wood maybe spin at like 3,800.
Yeah.
And that was coming out at like 32, 33.
So that is strong.
It was a strong, yeah.
A lot of the boys are going 7 woods and 9 woods. I never see you experiment with that. Why not? Just too much speed?
Too much speed. I hit my long irons pretty well. I carry this 4 iron that I've had.
Which is an old one,
Which is an old one, which I've had for a long time, which I love. And that acts like a 7 wood or a 9 wood for me. Okay. Like I don't have a 3 iron usually. And this 4, I'm able to do stuff with it. I can cut it up and hit it 225, 230, or I can turn it over and hit it 250 if I want to. Okay. So it's a pretty versatile club.
Do you, obviously this is the old P7, well, P760 and then P7CB here in the 3 iron.
Yeah.
This in just for testing purposes?
Just for
or
testing.
Open Championship maybe?
Yeah, testing purposes. I mean, I still use the 760 2 iron as well when I go back over to the UK. Okay. I love the sole on the 760s. Yeah. That's one thing, that little ski towards the leading edge I've always loved. And yeah, it's, you know, they've been great clubs to me over the years, and you know, it's just whenever you get comfortable, it's like, I think like fairway woods and long irons, they're like so particular, and once you get ones that you really like, it's really hard to get away from them. Yeah, there's definitely a cult following out there that loves that ski on that. I'm sure that'll be brought back into some other stuff, but you do have a P7CB sitting in there just as a backup. Now these are 7.0s, you've played them forever and a day. Really heavy in the 5 wood, I noticed. 9X, again, speed, right, I assume? Yeah, speed, just a little more control as well. Yeah. Yeah.
6.5 in the Project X.
6.5
and heavy swing weights, right?
6.5 wedge in the Project X in the lob wedge, but just 6.5s in the other wedges, but not. Yeah, obviously you don't swing wedges as fast as you do with the other irons.
Yeah.
Sometimes if I put a 7.0 on a wedge, it just feels a little too like there's not a ton of feel in it. It feels very bloody and very. But the wedge shaft in the lob wedge, I feel like just brings the flight down just a touch.
Okay.
I'm definitely not a tinkerer. I you know, if something comes along and is objectively better than what I have been using, it'll go straight in the bag. But I'm very, you know, once I have everything set, it's like, okay, this is what I'm going to go with for the foreseeable future, unless something is really off. And that's been the nice thing over the last couple of years. There hasn't been a ton of tinkering. And it's paid off with, you know, 2 really, really good years.
When you get time with Rory, the first thing you kind of think about, because having had this ringside seat to his career since he came out on tour, I mean, I'm kind of showing my age, but I've done this a long time, but you do sit there and you think, is the guy going to win the Masters this year? When we went to this photo shoot, Q was sort of alluding to this to me. He's like, man, he's going to clean up in 2025. Q kept saying to me, he's going to be the man, he's going to get it done, he's going to be the man. And I think that when I look back at the shoot, he was carrying himself a little differently that year. Again, the Nelly and the Tommy thing, that he respects the schedule. We got him as his last piece of content before he had to leave for the airport. He knows how to talk about golf clubs. He understands his commitments to his partners. He understands his role in the game. And I think that the lesson here is he was able to compartmentalize from Pebble Beach through to Augusta how to achieve a lifelong goal. And even the way he was at the photo shoot, he's able to separate himself from the crew there, knowing what he needs to do to get it done. And his golf clubs reflect that. You've got iron shafts that he hasn't changed them since the day he came out on tour. That's why it's a super easy what's in the bag for me to do. The driver stuff hasn't changed. The shafts now, the grips haven't changed. The wedge configuration, it hasn't changed, other than putting in that flighted PX shaft I think he had in the wedges. But nothing has really changed. And you look at that long iron setup, it hasn't changed. You look at the way he swings it, other than his body from when he started to when he became a man. Yeah, he's put work into that, and does he work? 100% he works hard. But it's consistency. It's showing up every day, who you are, the way you are, and getting it done, and results come. And that's what I take from that. And I think as you watch through the channel and you look at all these different videos, there's a lot of information. Rory has more information thrown at him week in, week out than any other player out there. And he filters it in the right way for his game. And that is the lesson from him, certainly, that we've taken from this and we talk about. The guy just keeps it simple and on task to do what he wants to do. Unbelievable to do what he did, to get it done against world class in Justin Rose in that moment with everything that was on the line. I mean, amazing to capture it before. Hopefully we capture him again in the future. Can't be happier for the guy that he's achieved a lifelong dream like that. I've got to see it all, amazing. But it's the consistency of showing up as to who you are, what you are with what you have, and getting it done. That's the lesson that we took from him. We're deep in giveaway season. The Open Championship has just concluded. The boys in this video were using this very golf bag in front of me for the tournament. We've managed to snag one with all the train stitching and everything on it. This, of course, was the major edition at Portrush. We're giving one away right now on the channel. If you want to get your hands on this sick golf bag, the Portrush edition, what you have to do is in the comment section, pop in there what Tiger put down the end of his iron shafts in order to dampen the feel. It's coming up in the remainder of this video. You've got this far, you might as well stick with it and watch. In addition, you have to subscribe to my channel. I'm going to assume you already are. You have to subscribe to Taylormade. Take screenshots of those 2 subscriptions, head over to my Instagram, DM me with the evidence that you've done it, and you can get your paws on this golf bag, plus the head covers that I don't have here with me now to show you, but the head covers will be yours too. Good luck, enjoy the rest of the video. This Tour Truck Tuesday, I have the best video that I'm ever bringing to you. The greatest player of all time. Tiger's been an icon of the game throughout my whole life, and this golf bag is ridiculous. His insights and the things he tells us are phenomenal. Enjoy. Hit subscribe as always. This is as good as it gets, guys. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, the man next to me needs absolutely no introduction. Mr. Tiger Woods, what's in the bag is coming to you. Now the tee height, let's touch on that. You play a shorter tee to what the industry has changed.
Okay, right.
But you haven't come off of it. Why do you stick with that? How do you adjust to stick with that?
It's just what I have always played. I mean, literally my entire life. The higher tees for me, I have a hard time getting a lot of the mass and underneath it, and then swinging out to the right. I like feeling more on top of it and covering it. So when I get the higher tee, it's amazing how far up I have to move that golf ball. To offset me getting on top of it. So yes, when I draw it, I tend to tee it up my little miniature tee on the high side. Or sometimes where we have fluffier tee boxes, right? And then my tee won't get into the ground. So,
but you don't change on it. I love that.
I don't.
Tiger has an Ohio State bag in his thing. 1995. At the time, he had never had a tee bag given to him, and so he still, to this day, uses the original tee bag.
So let's touch on that. Obviously, the irons are famously talked about. You've got a slightly different groove in there. Tighter, narrower, gives more spin.
Correct.
The 4, 5, and the 6 have a slightly different offset. Correct me if I'm wrong, but to the 7, 8, and 9.
Correct.
You got the tungsten weight that you've moved, but talk to me about this spin that these give you and why they're so trusted and why you stick on them.
Well, I've always loved spin, and so as a player, spin has always been my friend, and I can always take spin off. It's brutal to put spin on, and the fact that we have a shallower, the more grooves we can, that I liked over the course of my career. The fact when I played in wetter conditions and the ball tended to get a little wet, I was able to get more grab. And so as earlier morning tee times, whether it's in the fairway or in the first cut, that little bit of moisture, to have just a little bit more grab on it. I tended, sometimes if the ball is wet, sometimes every now and again, it comes out really soft and not really moving. Which I love. I don't like a hot ball. Give me spin. And then I'll adjust from there. If I have to go up in club, I happen to go up in club. But if I don't have spin, I happen to catch a tumbler, I don't like those tumblers. That's one of the reasons why, this is dating myself.
I can go with you, don't worry.
When the industry had square grooves. And all the players were using square grooves. I never did. I used V's.
So that wasn't an adjustment for you then?
No, it was not.
All right. I heard that the numbers were made bigger because under pressure you want bigger numbers on the bottom. Correct?
That is not true.
That's a marketing story. This is why we're doing this. So the myths can be put. I like that. Something you got to put straight. I was going to ask you, doweling.
The wind dowel?
Yeah. Is it true?
It is true.
Okay. How do you know how much to put in?
That was Mike's deal. So I would feel it in the head. So I would hit, when I first started with the wind dowel, it was, I would hit each club, maybe I'd probably have like 15 of each iron, individual numbers, right? And I have to find the right one. And sometimes those didn't work out, so I'd have to source them out and maybe hit 40 to 50 sets of irons and try and figure out, match what felt the best. And then go with that and say, can you copy that? But I like the dampening of that.
That's what I was going to ask. So it's almost like
feel and
a Sensi core, but your way.
You didn't use Sensi core, but I had that feel and the softness of it, and I became adept to feel that in my hands.
And then finally, the first time I've ever seen anything in your bag, is that just to hold frank, or is
No. I've realized how important alignment is, and I've always used my iron shafts and throw them down there. This is longer, so I don't have to bend over as much, right? So I don't have to redo my lines as much.
I like it.
And so I was throwing my forehand down there, or my iron, and just have 15 lines of stuff. Now I just have like 3 or 4, and it goes further back.
Legend. So we're wrapping the video up with the greatest player of all time. Look, I get it. Jack Nicklaus, unbelievable. I didn't get to see much of that. I grew up watching Tiger. I've done a few of these shoots. I've been in his company a fair amount, and you get to do something like this with him. You get one shot at it, and you then review how you did, but also what information did you get from it that you can use. And did he ever give us some great information? This is the best video I've ever been part of, for sure. I know Q and I have talked about it a lot, and it's a surreal moment for the channel. But the information, the different lie angles in the long irons because of age, the knowledge he has of his body and how that works, the consistency, the dowel. I knew about the dowel, but to hear it from him, massive. The wedges, everything about this is impressive. I think, as he referenced, in his prime, he could tell you, which I didn't expect, the exact tournaments he would change his grips and the exact tournaments he would change his irons and the heads. Why he would change them, why he does all the grooves close together, why he likes the grinds he likes, what he looks for in drivers. And just to be so giving with your information after all this time, when you've got this place in the game, is why that is my favorite video, and most, as it should be, most watched video we've had on the channel. So that concludes it. I hope you guys like this video. This is our highlight of the season, of the photo shoot, of that content. Obviously we've got more stuff coming to you, but it's been a great video to look back on. We loved capturing those moments. We hope you did too. Subscribe, because we've got plenty more coming up in the future. Hopefully a lot more players and a lot more stuff along these lines that you can learn from and take the best bits. And if you think you've missed them, don't worry, we'll catch it with a summary like this one.